Flathead screwdriver.
A flathead screwdriver is a screwdriver with a wedge-shaped flat tip. This is used to tighten or loosen screws that have a straight linear notch in their head. This is one of the most common tools on the planet. Every junk drawer has one or two in it. While it's one of the most commonly found tools, the flathead screwdriver is also one of the most abused. It is often substituted for any number of other tools when they are not available. Handyman or handywoman will put a flathead screwdriver to work as a chisel, as a nail puller, as a paint scraper, or killers will use this as a weapon to kill. Now, how to use this flathead screwdriver? The first step is choose the right screwdriver for the task before grabbing the first flathead screwdriver available. Take a few minutes to think about it, the location you will be working in. The second step is ensure the screwdriver fits the fastener before using the flathead screwdriver to drive or to loosen a screw. Check to make sure that the screwdriver tip size is appropriate for the target fastener. The third step is slide the flathead tip into the fastener slot after confirming that you have the right screwdriver for the job and that it fits the fastener. You can slide the tip of the flathead screwdriver into the slot on the back of the fastener. The fourth step is turn clockwise to tighten the fastener. If you are tightening an existing fastener or driving a new fastener, you will need to turn the screwdriver clockwise. The last step is turn counterclockwise to loosen the fastener. If you are losing an existing fastener, you will have to turn the screwdriver counterclockwise to unthread the screw from the hole. Now, how to keep your flathead screwdriver rust-free. Flathead screwdriver are typically made with stainless steel so they can be used in wet conditions without a problem. However, if the screwdriver remains wet, grimy, and dirty, the material can begin to corrode. To prevent this issue, use a clean, dry rag or cloth to wipe down your tools after use. Make sure any metal tools are completely dry. Then store them safely in a toolbox or workbench until you need to use the tools for the new project or a household repair. That's all. That's the flathead screwdriver.
Hex screwdriver.
The hex screwdriver, some call it Allen keys or hex keys. So from its name, hexa, which means 6. So it has 6 sides. It is used to loosen or tighten hexagon-shaped screws. There are 3 types of hex keys. Those are folding hex keys, straight hex keys, L-shaped hex keys, T-handle hex key. So hex keys has important characters which makes them unique and easy to use. So these are the advantages of using a hex key. So hex keys are simply constructed and fairly robust. They are cheap to manufacture and to buy. They are uncomplicated to use. They are lightweight and easy to hold. They provide 6 contact surface between hex key and the hex bolt. They are available in range of sizes and lengths. They are suitable for use with headless fasteners. They are double-ended, so if ever the other side was damaged, you can cut it off and use a proper grinder for it. It is easily conditioned or reconditioned or renewed by simply trimming off the damaged part. Shown in this video is a type of hex screwdriver that can be used in computers, which shows its efficiency and one driver can fit into different hex bolts. So, how to properly use a hex driver? I mentioned before that it is used to loosen and tighten bolts. So, hex bolt should not be over-tightened because the threads of the bolt can be stripped. Do not use a hex driver that is too large for the bolt that you are using. Always put it in its container and oil it if it's needed to avoid the rustiness.
Long nose plier.
Needle nose pliers, also known as long nose pliers and snipe nose pliers, are both cutting and holding pliers used by artisans, jewelry designers, electricians, network engineers, and other tradesmen to bend, reposition, and snip wire. Their namesake long nose gives excellent control, while the cutting edge near the pliers joint provides one-tool convenience. Because of their long shape, they are useful for reaching into small areas where cables or other materials have become stuck or unreachable with fingers or other means. These are the proper use and care in using long nose pliers. Cut at the right angle to the wire. Serrations on the gripping surface may be cleared of foreign materials by brushing with a file card or stiff with brush. These are the don'ts in using long nose pliers. Don't bend stiff wire with the tip of the pliers. Never rock the pliers side to side when cutting. Never pry with the nose of the pliers. Never attempt to cut a hot wire. Never expose these long nose pliers to excessive heat. Keep pliers clean and dry than before storing, as still exposed to moisture will rust.
Soldering pencil. Iron is a hand tool used to heat solder, usually from an electric supply at high temperatures above the melting point of the metal alloy. This allows for the solder to flow between the workpieces needing to be joined. Soldering is a process used for joining metal parts to form a mechanical or electrical bond. Typically uses a low melting point metal alloy, which is melted and applied to the metal parts to be joined, and this bonds to the metal parts and forms a connection when the solder solidifies. Clean them before, during, and after use. You can tell your tip is clean when it appears bright and shiny. Before soldering, use alcohol and a clean cloth to remove contaminants such as grease, corrosion, and oxidation from a surface to be soldered. This soldering tool is made up of an insulated handle and a heated pointed metal iron tip. Good soldering is influenced by how clean the tip of your soldering iron is. To maintain the cleanliness, a user will hold the soldering iron end and use a wet sponge to clean the soldering iron tip prior to soldering components or making solder connections. In addition to the soldering iron, solder sockets are an important part of the soldering setup. If excessive solder is applied, these molters are used to remove the solder, leaving only that desired. Soldering is widely used in the electronics industry for electrical connections. It is also used by plumbers to join together copper pipes. Reversible effects are why is it very useful in many industries.
Phillips screwdriver.
Phillips screwdrivers. The head of the Phillips screwdrivers is designed to permit the driver head to come out whenever excessive force is applied. These tools are designed to fit screw Phillips head which have cross-shaped recessed hands. The alternative name of cross screwdrivers, they were invented to cope with higher torsion. The don'ts using screwdrivers. Do not hammer screws which cannot be turned. Do not grind the tip to fit all sizes of the screw heads. Do not carry screwdrivers in your pockets. Do not expose a screwdriver blade to excessive heat. Heat can affect the temper, the metal, and weaken the tool. Do not use defective screwdrivers. These are the advantages. One of the main advantages of the Phillips system is that the screw and screwdrivers together are self-centering. Disadvantages. They require regular replacement of the assembly.
Side cutter plier.
Corner pliers, also known as wire cutter, are pliers intended for cutting of wire. They are generally not used to grab or turn anything. The plane defined by the cutting edges of the joints intersects the joint revent at an angle or on a diagonal, hence the name.
Proper use of side cutter plier.
First step in using the side cutter pliers. Open the jaws of the diagonal cutting pliers by moving the handle apart. The pliers may have a spring that does this for you, or you may have to hold them apart yourself. Place the wire nail cable near the pivot or event of the diagonal side cutting pliers. Step 2. Object between jaws. As a general rule, the object you wish to cut should be placed as far down the blade as possible. Close the jaw. Cuttings of copper wire near the tip of the jaws and blade of the diagonal side cutting pliers. Some tools have been designed to cut soft object near to the tip of the jaws. See the technical specification for more information on your diagonal cutting pliers. Squeeze the handle together to squeeze the jaws of the diagonal side cutting pliers, cutter or nipper, and push the blade into the through of the object. Step 3. Squeeze the handle together with the wire firmly in place. Squeeze the handle together, the blade will push through the wire and cut into two.